Hello everyone, this is Crota giving you a shoutcast between NaaMa and NightEnd here on Metalopolis. We have NightEnd spawning as the blue Protoss player over here at the 8 o'clock position. Meanwhile, we have NaaMa spawning as the green Terran over here at the 6 o'clock position of Metalopolis. Now, Metalopolis is one of those really strange maps, or one of those maps for Terran players that are sometimes really good and really bad, depending on the positioning. Now because NightEnd is spawning over here, I do not think NightEnd will be able to utilize this high ground as easily against NaaMa. So NaaMa, this should be a decent game for NaaMa. NaaMa will easily be able to take down or defend this natural expansion and then move on up into this high ground over here to take a third base as well. NightEnd, on the other hand, we're going to go ahead and try to put down a pylon, and we'll see what NightEnd's going to do. I believe this is game 4 in a best of 5 matchup. And NightEnd won the most recent game by being able to just macro up a very large army. NaaMa had made a comment saying that he knows that he cannot let a Protoss player really macro up. He really needs to go ahead and try to engage, as the Protoss army just seems to be able to out macro a Terran army even when they're of the same size. So there were a lot of Colossus, so perhaps some Thors would have balanced out that whole entire fight there. Anyways, we see NightEnd now going to go ahead and scout out with this scouting probe scouting in the wrong direction, so it will take quite some time to see what exactly NaaMa is doing. NaaMa opening up with the standard, what I believe to be a 10 supply, followed by a 12 or maybe even a 13 racks, and then also getting a tech lab or a refinery. So this refinery is a little bit delayed in terms of everything. We'll see how that's all going to be used. Orbital command should be upgraded now, and now also training up some Marines. A second supply depot should be placed probably somewhere in this vicinity in order to make sure that stalkers aren't able, or zealots aren't able to easily get in, as more Marines are now being trained up. The two workers are going to go ahead and pass each other in the middle of the night, and then we're going to have the probe going to go ahead and head on up this ramp. We now have a bunker being placed down by NaaMa. NaaMa, with that bunker, should be able to fend off a decent number of attacks. Stalkers trying to come up will really have to run all the way up in order to get within range of that bunker. And now, where's that second supply depot? Second supply depot being placed down here. And now we also have a tech lab being placed out. So NaaMa not going for the early factory like we've seen before, but going for an earlier tech lab. So we may get a little bit more infantry, and now there's that factory. So factory now coming into play as this tech lab is being laid down. Are we gonna get some early marauders or any early research? Only time will tell. So there is that early marauder. I'm still surprised that NaaMa has not taken the second gas yet, as Terran players finally NaaMa gonna go ahead and take down that second gas. Terran players really need double gas very early. Although each base has 2 gas in StarCraft 2, because of the mining and of the rate, it's almost like it is still only 1 gas compared to the original Brood War. And gas is really important for both armies now. Now in comes this SCV. SCV going to go ahead and do some scouting. SCV sees that there is now going to be a double gateway into the Cybernetics core. So whether or not NightEnd is going to go for a 4-gate push or a 2-gate robo, and it should really change up what exactly NaaMa's trying to do. A little bit of a tech lab swap there, as now Marine's going to go ahead and train up out of a reactor, as this reactor is going to take 50 units of time to be laid down. Marines now moving out. 2 Marines against 1 Stalker. Not going to be a fair fight there, but now in comes some Marauders as well. So those Marauders getting off 1 shot, 2 or what is that, 3 shots, and able to push back that Stalker. Gonna go ahead and activate that Zelnaga Watchtower, make sure that there's no probe sitting close by offering too much sight. And now we have a Stargate being placed down by NightEnd. So NightEnd hiding a Stargate. We may see a Void Ray being brought in, and without any Vikings and to really counteract that Void Ray, that may be a little bit of an issue. But as long as NaaMa tries to train up a lot of Marines over there at that barracks, he should be fine. 2 Marines already being trained up, 1 Void Ray being trained up as well, obviously being chrono boosted, as that Void Ray takes normally 60 units of time. 1 chrono boost is gonna go ahead and shave that down to 50 units of time to build. there. Siege tank now, a siege mode also being researched as well. More Marines being trained up, and will those Marines be able to fend off a Void Ray attack? That is really the all-important question here. Will another Void Ray be queued on up? I think that Chrono Boost just ends just in time, so that Void Ray was built within 40 units of time, and now one Void Ray just sitting there, gonna go ahead and wait for a buddy, so he's gonna have a buddy to go ahead and enter into this engagement over here. Do we have another supply depot, more of a scouting supply depot, and now more Marines being trained up? So NaaMa using those Marines may be able to fend off this attack, but the question is whether or how NightEnd is going to use these Stalkers and these Zealots. Are those Marines going to go ahead and try to engage over here? A lot of SCV is going to go ahead and choke up on the ramp as that command center now moving on out, and now out come two Void Rays. So those Void Rays are going to offer a lot of sight, and now those Marines quickly seeing that about those two Void Rays, and now it's going to be an attack on two sides of this army. These Void Rays also charging up their attack. Now fully charged up, and now in come these Vikings. Are those Void Rays going to take down that Viking, though? That is the important question. No. Marines now going to go ahead and do a little bit of engagement there, but Stalkers maybe. No, Stalkers not coming up because of one siege tank. So NaaMa going to be able to hold off this attack very well. One Viking, I'm getting off 3 rounds of attack, dealing a lot of damage towards that Void Ray, and that Void Ray, the whole entire Void Ray push may be all for naught. 2 Void Rays in the air, so it was a 2-gate into a Stargate. But NightEnd now investing so heavily into this Void Ray tech, now finally needs to put down a Robo Bay and try to change up his strategy. Back over here, NaaMa, wow, he hit his starport, even from me, behind his minerals, making it, I didn't even know about the starport, and with that one Viking, that Viking really was able to fend off that attack, even though the Void Rays were fully charged. But are we going to get Phoenixes and carriers are still a possibility, but I cannot see that happening, even though I would love to see a Mothership. Mothership would just be absolutely perfect at this stage, being able to offer additional, offer some cloaking and then take down some of these Vikings. The Mothership attack is very decent against a lot of Marines, as it has multiple ground attacks at the same time. But talking about something that probably will not be coming in through this game, Motherships are not a very popular strategy at this stage in the beta, or at this stage in the metagame. Getting a little bit of a recap, Warp Gate have been researched. Currently, NaaMa sitting off of 1 factory, 1 starport, and 1 barracks. Now placing down additional barracks as well. So NaaMa gonna try to start out macroing NightEnd. NightEnd, because he did not open with a more of a 4-gate opening, this he may be able to actually out macro the Protoss player. Because the Protoss went for a Stargate and a Robo Bay, he will not be able to get as large of an army, even though NightEnd currently sitting on a 2,000 mineral army, 700 gas, compared to NaaMa's 1450 and 375. The racks with the reactor core and these additional barracks, which will most likely grab some additional tech labs as well, will create a very large number of marauders to deal with. And we should all probably be getting a Raven. Oh, Banshees now coming into play. So these Banshees may be able to get a lot of harassment done. NightEnd does not have 1 Phoenix either to really counteract this. There are two observers now out for NightEnd, so NightEnd will be able to spot those units, and NightEnd now also trying to get some additional Colossus, or build Colossus as well, and also get a Forge up and running. How is this all going to work, as there's now a Banshee hiding over here to the bottom left-hand side of the map. A second Banshee will be able to join them momentarily. Cloaking research nearing completion as well. The cloak shouldn't matter all too much because there is going to be plenty of observers in the base. Stay tuned for part 2 of this replay between NaaMa and NightEnd here on Metalopolis.